So, as you saw in the announcements, we had to cancel class today because of the weather and people traveling in. I just figured it was best to do that because a lot of people were canceling coming to class anyway, so I didn't want to punish people for not being able to make it through the snowy conditions today. But I still am going to have you guys do some work on your edTPA. What I really think is an important part is to do the peer editing. And I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm looking for when it comes to peer editing. And then we'll talk about a few other things that you should look over for class. Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. Sorry, I can't figure out how to do my face and then flip back and forth between my screen and me. So I just figure you need to see my screen more than you need to see me. So what I want you guys to go to is on your Blackboard. Go to today's class and look at this document here, peer editing guidelines. Okay, so here I want you guys to just kind of look over. So what I'm expecting you to do is to find a partner and swap what you have so far for your edTPA task 1. And when you get your partner's edTPA task 1, you want to read over their lesson plan, instructional materials, assessments, and their commentary section. Okay, make sure you go through all their stuff, make sure they have everything, check out their lesson plan, what they're planning on doing, see what it looks like. Then I want you guys to compare it to the rubrics, to their rubric that they're using. Hopefully you're choosing a partner in a similar content area as you, but if not, you just pull up one of their rubrics. And what I want you to do is try and find their evidence they provided to get them a passing score, or what score, just kind of decide what score you would give them. So for example, I have a past student's practice edTPA on here. So this person converted theirs to Word and they did elementary literacy. So let me pull up the rubrics for that. So oops. So I'm just going to go to their handbook here and find their rubrics. So the quickest way for me to find them is to go to the task overview. And so I know that I need to be looking at rubric 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 16. And so we'll just click on rubric 1. And this is where we're starting. So how do the candidates' plans build students' understanding of an essential literacy strategy for comprehending or composing text and the skills that support that strategy? So what I want you to do is kind of look through these levels and try and find the evidence that they provide. So I'm just going to start with level 3 and it says, candidates' plans for instruction build on each other to support learning of the essential literacy strategy for comprehending or composing text. and with clear connections to related skills. So when I'm going through, I'm going to try and find evidence of that. So when you look at his task 1, you just kind of look through, go through central focus. Here's my central focus. He has it all. He has his standards here listed out. B says, given the central focus, describe how the standards and learning targets within your segment address the essential literacy strategy. Oh, so there's keyword right there. So does he answer this question, the essential literacy strategy for comprehending or composing text? So I'm going to see what he has in here. Asking questions about a text is evidence that a student is actively engaged with reading and understanding the text. Examining specific aspects of text, helpful information found within photos and illustrations, characters of, and so you're just kind of going through. Looks like he has his standards aligned with what they're going to do here. So how is that related to the skills that support a strategy, reading connections? So I'm kind of having a hard time finding exactly what he means, because it looks like he just took his standards that he was using for his lesson and then put them down here. So if this was somebody's that I would be editing, I would say explain this section a little bit beyond just using your standards. So what I would want to do is write, well, I'm going to insert a comment. Insert comment. And I would say level 2, because this, oops, I can't see, let me move it over. This section describes plans for instruction support, but gives vague details about how it will be done. So if you look at level 2, candidates plans for instruction support student learning of the skills with vague connections to the essential literacy strategy or comprehending or composing text. So you can start here. If you find evidence later on in his commentary that supports a level 3 or a level 4, you can change that and say, okay, I found more evidence here. Perhaps maybe you want to rework it a little bit so that it's right at the beginning, or just kind of be redundant throughout and say it a few times. Does that make sense to everyone? So you want to go through their whole task 1, and if you can't remember which rubrics go to which section, refer back to last week's rubric alignment document. So I'll just give you a quick reminder of that. It's in January 25th. So task 1, rubric prompt alignment, and these are all the same. So this one, so 1A goes with rubric 1, 1B goes with rubric 1, 1C, rubric 1. So you can just look through this and make sure that you're using the right rubric for each prompt. And you want to give a score if you can, or provide some feedback for each prompt. So you want to provide feedback for 1A, 1B, 1C. So you are trying to help this person give as much evidence as they can for each prompt, and they will be helping you too. So you want to do a really good job on this. So next time because we're going to do this for each task. So Um, okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, let's get rid of that. And if you guys need more instruction on how to answer or edit the prompts, please let me know. So let's go back to, where's one? It's just on. That's not. So I'm not going to do this anymore. Okay. So just to reiterate, you're going to read over their stuff, lesson plan, instructional materials, assessments, and commentary. You're going to highlight where you found the evidence or possible needing of revisions and editing. You're going to write which rubric you are referring and what score you gave. Sorry, I didn't include that. And add any additional comments, including ideas to make lesson plan and or task 1 prompts stronger. So that will be your assignment for today, because that's what we're going to do in class. I feel like people should do it now so they have enough time to make revisions for their final draft. And then in 2 weeks we'll talk about videos, and I'm going to put up how to record, and I'm going to put up a few videos on the watch list for you guys to check out, good and bad examples and tips and tricks and stuff like that. So the next thing is, when you go to turn in your final drafts for task 1, what I want you to do is highlight. So you're getting your paper peer edited, but you don't necessarily have to take their advice. But I want to see that it's on there and see why or why not you decided to change it. So if you do make changes, I want you to highlight it in a different color than they used. So highlight in a different color all changes you made based on suggestions from peers and your own revision ideas, and turn it in. Include an explanation why you made each change in content. No explanations needed for rewording and or grammar, spelling, etc. like that. Also, this should say task 1. Include the name of the person who edited your task 1, so I can give, because I'm going to give credit for editing as well. So please, please, please get this edited. Yeah, so that will be your assignment for today. I'm going to have it due on Monday. So I'll change the, well, that's not really true. So I'll have it due next class. So it'll be like we did it in class today, and then it'll just be due when we have next class. Good. I hope that this helps. I want to talk about a few more things that I have up on today's class sessions, since we aren't going to be in there. So let's find it again. All right, so in here, we don't need this anymore, because I showed it. In here I have also some student voice examples. So if you're still struggling with what to use as student voice, I put some examples in here. And also, if you're not sure if what you decided to use actually constitutes as student voice, I would really recommend checking out a couple of these examples. So let me see here. Right, so this person use an exit slip. So what they ask, what was the learning target for today's lesson? On the scale below, draw an X where you think you are in relation to meeting the target. What resources do you have available to help you get closer to meeting the target? So just kind of go through these. I really liked this one too. It has student journals, and it says, math, I am learning to multiply two-digit numbers. Yesterday I got confused and didn't do them right because I started with the number on the left first. So you can see students thinking about what they're learning in their journals and what they thought about the lesson there. And it's kind of unscripted, unprompted. Another one I like, this is kind of for older students, just kind of a rubric to check themselves against. Do I have the main idea clearly written? Topic sentences in the middle body paragraphs clearly relate to the main idea. So they can go through that for each one. Here's another exit pass. Here's a scale type thing to include. Here's a letter home to their parents about their progress. It's kind of neat. Here's a target. So place an X on the target to show how close you are to being able to write a paragraph. Or you can use this for anything that you, any lesson really. What else? This one has a spot for them to just put a 4, 3, 2, 1, so a rating system for themselves. So there's a ton of stuff in here to look through. So I thought I'd provide that for you guys. There's one other thing that I didn't upload yet, but I will. Let's see if I can find it. Yes, here. So this is it's really, really long, so I tried to pull out some of the things that I thought were most important, but I think I might just upload this whole PowerPoint from the WSU, cancel the WSU conference that I went to. And one of the things that I thought was very important here, let's see if we can find it. It's tons of 40 pages of stuff, so wait, those are examples. So, okay, here. So this is criteria for identifying what we want students to learn. So here's the difference, learning targets, and then here is student voice. So student voice is demonstrated when students reflect upon their understanding of their work or learning relative to a range of expectations and targets. For example, voice is demonstrated when students evaluate their work against a rubric which they helped create, or write an exit pass about their own strengths and weaknesses for a lesson's targets. Students might personalize their learning by writing goals for the future or for future work in their reflections. This is how they demonstrate their voice and ownership of their learning. So that is something that they will specifically ask for in the edTPA. So keep this in mind. How has this been built into your lesson plan? What are you guys doing to incorporate the student voice? So here's some ideas on this that I provided you. Check through this PowerPoint, and I'm going to upload that next for you guys to look through. So this also has ideas in it. It's just little things you can look at. Okay, please email me if you have any questions. Yeah. So sorry that we had to cancel class, because I know that if we cancel class, we have a long time in between. So if you have any questions, call me, email me, put something up on the discussion board, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can here. So, all right, I hope everyone has a happy Friday, and I hope you're not too disappointed. there's no class tonight, so alright, talk to you guys later.